everybody, back with another Evercade review. This time it's the C64 Collection 1, very fitting because this is episode 764. And as always, it comes with a nice full color manual. Every game gets at least 1 page coverage, some up to 4 pages of coverage. And it comes with this little feelie that reminds me of one of these early computer keys where they'd say, hey, put this over here to get a hint or to unlock the game. And you can see with the way that the holes are lined up, it says Gribbly Grobbly. So we'll see what that means in just a minute. Let's go ahead and take the C64 Collection 1. Let's pop it in my Evercade VS and see how the games hold up today. Let's go to the games. The C64 Collection 1 is cartridge 01 of the new Blue Box Home Computer Classics series. Amazon gives it a release date of November 4th, 2022. At the time of my research, both Best Buy and Amazon were sold out at the standard $19.99 price point, with secondary sellers on Amazon asking for about $27 shipped. The cartridge contains 14 titles, which I will list according to my own personal preference, playing the games as a single player, starting with my least favorite and working my way up to my most favorite, using the years given in the manual. Alleykat from 1986 is first. Made by celebrated programmer Andrew Braybrook, this game plays as a vertically scrolling shooter where you change your altitude, but instead of clearing stages, you're finishing laps and races to make it to the next one. The idea is fine, but I had a hard time with the controls and found it too easy to crash. Subterranea from 1988 is the next game. Now we have a horizontal shooter where you hit switches to open gates, and if you pass a stage, which seems to end out of the blue, you move on to a boss-type bonus stage where you try to hit blinking targets before time runs out. And then you rinse and repeat. The controls are okay, but to me, the stages felt a little too cramped and monotonous to hold my attention. Iridis Alpha from 1986 is the next game. Made by celebrated programmer Jeff Minter, this game is one of the most complicated shooters I've ever played. You basically play 2 fields, the top and the bottom, at the same time. You have a bunch of info cramped on the very bottom, including energy gauges you must maintain. Lose all of your energy and you die, but you don't want too much energy either, so sometimes you have to land to drain off some energy. And after a few stages, you can fly through rings enemies drop to alternate controlling the ships on the upper and lower screens. Personally, this game is simply too difficult and complicated for my tastes, but shooter fans who like more cerebral games might enjoy this one. Stormlord from 1989 is the next game. A puzzle platformer where you try to rescue fairies while using your attack, ramps to jump to new areas, and even pick up items like honeypots to access new sections. It has some nice music, but as a platformer it's just kinda meh. The game also features several large nude cartoony fairies that are viewed from the side. That prevents me from showing some of the game on my family-friendly channel. Summer Games from 1984 is next on the list, a collection of summer Olympic-style games that range from foot races to swimming and diving and even a skeet shoot. You can play games individually or run the whole gambit. It can be fun in spots as a single player, but it's definitely better as a multiplayer game. Next, we have Street Sports Baseball from 1987, an okay baseball game with some charm that helps separate it from other baseball titles. The controls could have used a little polish, but I still enjoyed it enough to want to play it again. Winter Games from 1985 is the next game on the list. It's basically summer games with winter-themed games like skating, the bobsled, and my personal favorite, the biathlon. And I like the games offered in winter games a little bit more than summer games. Marauder from 1988 is next. It plays like an overhead run and gun game except you're in a vehicle. Shooting colored orbs can give you good or bad power-ups. You also have a limited supply of smart bombs, which you'll need as this game is tough. There are no sound effects, but the in-game soundtrack is amazing. It could have easily fit into a Hollywood sci-fi action movie from the 80s. And despite the difficulty, it's also pretty fun. Thumbs up. Next, we have 1986's The Movie Monster Game. When it came out, it actually licensed Godzilla's name to use in the game, although here the name has been changed. You pick a monster including knockoffs of the Blob and the Marshmallow Man, and a major city, and a scenario, which may have you trying to escape, locate your young one, demolish as much as you can, eat as much as you can, or locate and destroy a certain target. Since each monster has different strengths and weaknesses, the difficulty depends on the setup. Once the setup is complete, you play out the scenario like a movie. The controls can be sluggish and the scenarios are typically short, but the movie monster fan in me enjoyed the atmosphere of this title. Gateway to Apshai from 1983 is the next game. This early action RPG is rough around the edges, with sometimes confusing controls and leveling up that only happens when a stage ends, but I still enjoyed exploring the dungeons and trying to see how far I could get. Next, we have Lee from 1984. Originally, it was a licensed Bruce Lee game. This title has you locating and touching lanterns to open up new areas while taking on the bad guys. And you know what? Once I got used to the setup, I found it pretty fun. I consider the next game a hidden gem of sorts, Battle Valley from 1988. This game feels like it could be a Choplifter sequel. You start in the middle, able to control a tank or a chopper, which you can alternate, with the goal of capturing 4 enemy bases, 2 at each side, before the timer runs out. Capturing a base adds time, exploding loses time. Apparently this was originally a budget title when it was released, but I found it more enjoyable than many full-price games from that era. Jumpman from 1983 is the next game, an early platformer with some simple graphics, pretty good controls, and some really creative single-screen levels. It may not look like much, but the gameplay is pretty top-notch. Finally, we come to my favorite game in the collection, Impossible Mission from 1984. It is a true classic, great graphics, great sound, and a great mix of gameplay that involves platforming, searching, and puzzle solving. It's not a pick up and play title, but those who take the time to learn it will probably find it one of the more rewarding C64 titles out there. The hint from the included feelie that came with the game can be used with the secret menu section of the VS and I think also the EXP to unlock another C64 game, and I don't think you even need a cartridge to do so. By using the code GribblyGrobbly, you can unlock Gribbly's Day Out from 1985, another Andrew Braybrook game. I'm still getting used to it, but so far it's a unique platform style game that seems pretty good, especially as a free unlockable, and I would have gladly replaced it with Alleykat on this collection. However, for my ranking of the cartridge, this game won't be considered as part of the collection. Family friendly wise, the game received a PEGI rating of 7, but here in the States it may have gotten a T for teen rating just for the nudity in Stormlord alone. So what do you think of the C64 Collection 1? This is a great collection. Yeah, there's a few duds, but there's also some really great inclusions, like Impossible Mission, Jumpman, and Battle Valley. I also think the variety is well done, mixing different genres as well as both popular and lesser known titles. Overall, I'm really happy with this collection, and I hope Blaze will continue to create more computer classics collections. So where am I going to rank the C64 Collection 1? It's going pretty high. I do like Data East Arcade 1 more at 1, but I will give this an edge over Namco Museum 1 at 2. So out of the 18 cartridges I'm now ranked for the Evercade, the C64 Collection 1 is debuting at the number 2 position. The C64 Collection brings some great Commodore 64 action to the Evercade and is a must-have for classic computer game fans. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Support the show at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer and click the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to see you next time in the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, everybody.
Stay a while. Stay forever.